started out as a panel. And she said, she gave us, it was me and another quilter. And she said, we're going to make quilts out of this. And that was like maybe 10 years ago. And I just now finished it like a couple years ago. I went to the quilt shop and I started looking at what colors I could find in this panel. And I came up with this border, the white, the red, the gold, and the green. And I finished it out with this black Christmas. These were all Christmas patterns that I found. And that's how I came up with this particular piece. And what happened was when we had our retreat, one of the themes was Christmas. So I decided to pull this up. And that's how I got the whole project finished. I love quilting because it allows me to go into myself. And when I'm stressed, I go into myself and I could, you know, come up with a creation and take my frustration out on fabric. Fabric in a fabric store, this Kwanzaa fabric, and I said I'm gonna make a wall hanging with it, and I decided to do the black, red, and green color scheme, and I just put the Kwanzaa symbols in there, and it was fairly quick to create.
And every year we go on a retreat during Labor Day together, and each year each person in the group has to give us a challenge that we have to have completed by the next year. So this piece is paper piecing, and I think this was my first big paper piecing project. And so then what we do the next year when we come back to the retreat, then we present it to the group, and it's amazing how with the different colors, we all have the same pattern, but we all use different colors, and they just look completely different. I've been collecting all this African fabric, and I never could decide what I wanted to do with it. So I had several pieces, and I didn't want to cut them up because I wanted them to stay like large pieces so that I could really show the figures that were in the fabrics. So this one, you see there are several different designs, different, I guess, fabric choices that I use. So just kind of a combination of fabric choices. And then I thought the kind of the main color in all of the quilts was the orange and the brown. So that's why I selected the orange and the brown. And then just went with the different borders. And one thing about my quilts that I always take pride in is because my backs really almost look just as good as the front. Because what I'll do is I'll take all of my extra fabric and then I add it to the back of my quilt.
That dates back to 1930s. It is hand done, and the fabric is that of feed sacks from the early 1930s and 1940s. I found this quilt at a resale shop in Houston, Texas. A picture of a double wedding ring quilt from the 1930s as well, made from feed sacks.